and they're off. Looks like.
Yeah, I should tell you, Dev, you can pause one stream and play it to sync them up.
Yep, that's what I was doing.
Yeah, Richard's a little bit fast on my screen. And I'll give you a quick count. I'm at 16, 17, 18.
Way to go! Keep on trying.
I'm at 25 now. That's about right.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
yeah.
All right, so we're going to see some V-hard action. We saw some hard action earlier today, and we're going to be seeing a lot more of an RNG effect in play here, and overall just faster cursor movement. You're going to need to send a lot more garbage in this mode, as well as what we call the double 4 combo strat works wonders here.
For sure, it's one of those. It's one of those strategies that if you want to pick up S hard, you really get familiar with it. This will be the mode that you want to practice that strategy on.
And both these guys with a pretty quick time to start off here. Both of them going into Brock pretty easily. Like, at the beginning of Very Hard, you will get some consistent times, especially with these two. They both know how to make consistent chains, and you won't see them drop too much. And that's really all you need to do at the beginning here. The 4 combos help, but as long as you send enough garbage to top off your opponent, most of the time they will eventually die.
Yeah, especially in the earlier matches. I'm sure we've all seen how trolly this mode can get. Especially, from Sabrina onward. And as I'm saying that, I'm watching both of them pretty close to each other still. Getting to Misty right under the 2-minute mark.
I mean, I guess that's why these guys are 8 and 9 seed. They're going to go back and forth at the beginning here, and I'm sure they're going to do that for quite a few stages, if not take leads back and forth as well.
That's what we look forward to in these matches, though. Sometimes it's interesting to watch blowouts happen, but you don't really get the tense matches that can come with a lot of these RNG games.
I'm gonna win.
And yeah, that will happen quite a bit too. In which, I guess the cool thing about that is, at that point, if it is a blowout, you just sit there and you appreciate the skill of one player. Because we've definitely seen a couple matches like that when we had I Like Being Smart play her match last week, and she pulled off a 15 on her first race, and it was just incredible to see the consistency of the quick kills.
Definitely. And Tayman kind of broke out a little bit here. He's finishing Surge as PanbanRichard is starting Surge.
Tayman's getting some insane times right now. He's got 2 golds actually on his personal splits, and he's jumping out to almost a full stage lead.
And one of the things I'm noticing with Tayman's chaining is he's doing a lot of very, I want to say advanced style chains. Maybe not advanced, because I don't really know how to gauge what advanced is, but he's doing some strats that you typically don't see a lot of newer players do, so he's definitely learning quite a bit, and he's learning it very quickly. Okay. I'm gonna boost myself.
So yeah, this is common, just with a stage lead or so right here at the beginning. It's still anybody's game, as we'll mention several times, and won't be the last time we mention it. But it's all about consistency, getting lucky, and just seeing what the opponent gives you. Because it is a lot of adjusting to how the AI is doing as well. Sometimes the AI likes to throw out a lot of big chains at you. Sometimes they just like to sit there and do nothing.
And yeah, that's part of the frustration with this game, especially on the higher difficulty modes. Just consistency is king in this game, but sometimes it's just not enough. Sometimes you have to get lucky.
Give up.
And Panban getting trolled a little bit by Sabrina, which is funny enough, the character that usually trolls me.
I don't think myself personally, I've had too much trouble with Sabrina. I guess everyone has their different characters, but for super hard and specific, it's definitely right as we hit that midway point and get to Tracy, which we'll see pretty soon there. He kind of gets me on very hard too.
Yeah. Yeah, Tayman taking out Sabrina in 11 seconds, so... I mean, he's doing pretty good. I believe I made an error when I said Panban was getting trolled by Sabrina. I meant Erica. I always do that too. I always switch them around.
Do you choose to battle me?
I guess it's pretty easy to do so.
I don't know what it is. I always seem to do it though. I think it's because they both have historically trolled me quite a bit, and I just kind of called them the same person.
It was always Tracy and Richie for me. Mostly Tracy. I remember, rest in peace my old splits, but I remember the averages for my opponents. And I swear it was like, you know, under 2 minutes or under 1 minute for most. And then I had an average of like 3+ minutes on Tracy. And I'm like, how is this even possible?
And just like that, Richard getting a 16 on Koga after getting a minute and a half on Eric. That is what this game does to you. It'll give you nothing, and then you'll get a great time afterward, and you'll kind of go, oh, maybe I don't want to reset this run, just to keep you a little bit hooked. A really nice 6-chain from Richard there.
He's making quite the comeback right now as Tayman's getting walled a little bit on Blaine. He's actually had 4 golds, but I realize this is only his 3rd attempt at his split, so that would make sense. Free golds, we'll take it.
It's also kind of interesting. Do his splits end at Tracy?
He probably just doesn't have the last one showing currently on it.
Oh, okay.
Because I assume once he splits here, it'll show like the next 2, maybe.
Okay, gotcha.
The perks of live split, you can customize them all differently, so everyone's appearance is different.
I told you so. I'm gonna win.
And we got a force kill on Richard's side right now. He's going to be moving on to the same stage as Tayman, still struggling with this Blaine, so who knows, if Blaine keeps training for a little bit longer, Richard could take the lead with a quick kill on Blaine here.
Oh yeah, that always seems to happen too. I mean, it's a great equalizer, especially in this game. It's part of what spawns the reset strats of if a stage is taking you a really long time, sometimes it might even be faster just to quit out and attempt a fresh start.
We did see Tayman eventually did finish Blaine there, and Blaine had like all the stop time in the world, but didn't find a chain after his last garbage clear, so he ended up dying. But Richard way back in the race now, and I think if he's lucky enough here, yeah, he is going to get the kill on Blaine as well.
All right. So it looks like they're about at a 30-ish second lead, or Tayman's at about 30-ish second lead.
Oh, pretty unfortunate on Tayman's part. He was 1 line short, which allowed Tracy to raise the stack there.
1 more line.
And we saw I think it was a match yesterday. We saw plenty of that. Another 1 more line, but he might get lucky enough to get the kill here. Nope, I'm wrong. The red clear comes through.
Yeah. All right, Richard. If Richard's gonna make a comeback, now's the time to. He's not sending a whole lot of garbage though, and it's kind of unfortunate when you get in that scenario of you just don't have a whole lot of blocks at the moment, and yet you have no garbage on the screen.
I'm gonna win. Go, go, go. I'm gonna win.
So now we get to see my favorite person ruining everyone else's runs. So let's see what Tracy's gonna do to both of them. Hopefully we see some matches finish pretty quickly here, but by the looks of it, Tracy's just clearing away on both people's screens.
Yeah, this is about the point in the run where the AI starts to set up those garbage chains, and they're pretty efficient at setting him up. Tracy's got not a lot of blocks here, but he could actually move up to the second tier. Oh, but he didn't need to. He had a single clear on the bottom, and he went for it.
And we have Tayman. He's fed up with that match. He's going to go for the, I believe, the first reset strats. It might have been the second one. I can't quite remember. But sometimes
I think that's
the hard
first one I noticed.
Yeah, definitely. Hard reset sometimes can make the difference for you, as Tracy was chaining a little bit, but he's going to take a second one too. I have that sometimes. I've reset 2 seconds into a match because I dropped the chain immediately, and I'm like, all right, redo.
Yeah. And it sucks because once you get into that rhythm, it's kind of hard to not do it anymore. So you kind of tend to start resetting maybe a little sooner than you should have.
I get into habits like that every once in a while, which is why when I had my races the other night, they actually went pretty smooth because I think I just focused on a little bit less restretch because I don't think you should do them too much in this mode. But before I finished that statement, Richard actually lost on Tracy as Tayman finished.
No.
So we kind of have a reset strat for Richard there. It's a little bit faster at least.
It's a soft reset. That's what I like to consider him.
I forget what I was even talking about before that. Oh well, let's continue with the action here.
Oh yeah. Still seeing some pretty good chains from both of them. Seems I'm noticing on Tayman's side that he seems a little hesitant to continue some chains past to 5. Do you think that's more of a kind of like the thing that we beat into the people that are learning, to where screen shake is a really devastating thing, or maybe he's trying to only send the exact amount that he sees on their screen at that moment?
Now, I think he's been listening to a little bit of Cards because Cards has been pouring his knowledge about his guide recently, and he stresses 5 chains a lot, and I'm beginning to think that's the impression he probably is going for quite a few times, because that is less of a screen shake as well, and they're not really going to be clearing too much of their blocks. So I want to give him the credit and say it's a little bit of that, but even then at times, you kind of want to break that mindset, and if you don't send enough to your opponent, you want to go just a little bit more.
I mean, in the name of swag, you gotta sometimes go for that mystery chain.
Yeah, can't deny that. I want to say no, but my heart says yeah, even though it's like the dumb thing to do, I'll admit.
Full disclosure to all the people listening: don't do mystery chains.
But do them. But do them. But don't do them. You know what we're saying?
Yeah.
Well, I think we're having some deja vu on Richard's side here with a couple of resets on Tracy. Maybe he's everybody's troll. He's just like the global troll for everybody. I guess that's why there really is a Troll C emote. So
yeah, he is the run ender.
Well, Tayman might have a full screen. He looks to the second tier strats to bail him out, though, so he's going to survive a little bit longer here. But unfortunately, we saw a case where he didn't have Team Rocket topped off, and so that's going to be a little bit more time wasted.
Rocket is actually clearing a lot of unnecessary stuff and still somehow coming up with clears. Oh, he might have him here, though. Oh, wow. No. It's always really impressive when you see just how much stop time the opponents actually get. It always seems like it's more when you're doing the run, but watching this, even I'm watching it going, okay, that was a little much on the stop time for Rocket there. Oh, he might have him. Oh my goodness.
Man, I hate to see this mid game, and this is where I kind of struggle most of the time too. And unfortunately, it's going to be the blues that line up there on
Oh
Tayman's screen at the
goodness.
end. And it's going to just keep clearing and clearing. Unless he gets lucky here, he's probably going to have the yellows drop in the place for a clear or the reds. But you never know. On situations like this, I'd want to reset, my brain tells me, because they can keep clearing. But sometimes you just want to keep waiting because they can waste all their blocks accidentally.
And unfortunately, Rocket is just not doing this.
Richard in a rough spot. He might lose the stage. He gets one raise here, so it's going to keep him alive for a little bit longer. But he's going to deal with the fact that Team Rocket's going to have plenty of room to work with to clear the current garbage without any other garbage coming onto their screen immediately.
Mm-hmm. Tayman looking pretty good on this chain. That was a pretty good swag chain as well, if you saw that. Some really good timing caused him to not make a clear of 3 blocks and instead get a chain.
So I guess Team Rocket is just the second incarnation of Tracy here, too, for both of them. I mean, this is Richard's first attempt at Rocket, I believe, but it's going over a minute and a half already, so.
And this is Tayman's third, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe you're correct on that.
It's
maybe a second. It's hard to.
It might be a second.
It's hard to keep track when you're going back and forth. Well, it's definitely going to be his third at least now, because he unfortunately did die on that stage. Man, I wonder if either one of these guys is looking at each other's screen, because they're probably panicking, thinking, I'm super far behind right now, because you can get into that mindset when you're just focusing on your own stream, when in fact they're dead even right now.
Yeah, during the Tetris Attack tournament, I can tell you that every time I felt myself drop a chain or make a slight mistake, I immediately glanced over to the IRC chat to see if he had not done yet, because I'm just like, there's no way. There's no way. He's got to be dot dunning right now with that mistake, and every time he didn't, your heart just races a little bit more.
Man, another one. Another reset on Team Rocket, but he's still going to be tied as Richard. He does have Team Rocket topped off and might get the kill here, which he does as soon as I say that. The habit that never dies when I'm commentating. I'll be like, he might get the kill here, then immediately gets it. So Richard is going to take the lead back from Tayman. I hope Tayman can finally get this kill on Rocket, because I hate to see him literally be stuck on Tracy and Rocket for a combined 10 minutes, I believe.
I mean, he did just do an 11 chain, so I think he's going for the swag strats at this point. You know, when all else fails.
It actually worked too. That just pour the biggest chain possible, and it's going to get the kill. See, it's confirmed. If you lose all hope, just go for the mystery chain, go for a high chain, and you will win.
Yep.
It looks like Richard.
You have to lose hope first.
Is Richard going to get the kill here? He doesn't have the CPU topped off, but he might get it still, and he will with that.
Oh, man.
That 4 combo was the difference, because he didn't see the blue kill, or the blue blocks, that is.
Yeah, so I don't know what causes that. What causes the AI to not see a clear like that? Because there's no way. Oh, and Tayman with a 14 on Giovanni, so we're in a race now.
Yeah, as soon as he gets past Rocket, he's like, all right, let's get back on track here. And I believe the answer to your question there, Dev, is we just theorized that it's the opponent looking at the furthest garbage block down. So even if it's like just that one row farther down, the computer just like ignores everything else on the other side, and it's like, well, I can't clear this, so maybe I can't clear everything else.
Right. Tayman taking a reset right away. He's not feeling that one.
I'm gonna win. Don't give up.
And Richard doing some pretty risky stuff with his stack there, going for a really big combo.
I'm gonna win.
Now those are pretty cool to do when you get like the nine combos when garbage blocks fall, but you also end up losing more panels than you gain. So it could actually bite you in the butt if you're not careful.
Yeah, we got my second troll to run.
I'm gonna win.
Please don't do the same thing Tracy was doing to the people, though. We don't want to see that.
Don't give up. Way to go.
Yeah, I guess for the most part, I mean, they're struggling a little bit on topping off the opponents, but I'd say they do pretty good recoveries. But I think the thing we've been missing for the most part is like a little bit of the 4 combo focus, because that will help so much on this late game.
Are you ready?
Yeah, that just slight amount of AI manipulation, what's gonna really help them get these kills, especially at this point in the run where they're both pretty much heading into Lorelei at the same time, maybe about 8 to 10 seconds apart. Especially right now, this is where you want to start seeing those strats being used.
And Tayman with the pausing, probably not paying attention to the screen while I was mashing through the stuff in between. I do that all the time.
Right.
I will actually be right back. I am getting a phone call.
All right.
Can't win 'em all.
Mashing actually makes you go faster, even if you pause. That's not true. Don't listen to me.
Can't win 'em all.
Actually, I did hear that before I returned this call, and I can confirm that's a fact.
I'm just gonna end up giving everybody terrible advice. Oh, and wow, Tayman, Lorelei goes down.
Can't win 'em all.
Oh, Richard's kind of making me nervous with this stack. He had enough stop time, but I was clenching a little bit.
Can't win 'em all. Can't win 'em all. Can't win 'em all.
It's always interesting watching people other than yourself play, because you see things they don't, and you're like, oh, you could have went for that, but then they do something you totally didn't see, and it might have even been better than what you were looking at. And I'm seeing that all the time on both of their screens, going, I don't know why they didn't. Oh, okay, well, no, that's why they did that. Okay, no, I got you.
Can't win 'em all.
Alright, so we do have Tayman finishing off Bruno here. He's going into the stretch of the run with Gary 2 and Mewtwo here. So we'll see if he can get a quick kill on both of these and close out the end of this race. Richard still definitely tons of time he can catch up on here as long as he gets this kill pretty soon on Lorelei. But he was a line short again, and that's going to extend the match. I'm not sure if it would have ended it, but it definitely would have provided a little bit less stop time to maybe close it out.
Can't win 'em all.
Yeah, it is very disheartening when you send a really nice amount of garbage, everything's looking good, and then one line short.
I will say one thing. I don't think either of them are doing it, but I know you can get into a pattern when you're doing attempts. If you just want to send a certain amount of garbage, you kind of like quit playing and watch the opponent afterward. But you always just pretend like you're always doing backup strats in a race and just always keep your chains going afterward. Like, do what your standard thing is, but even if you're confident that you think it's going to kill, try to send more afterward.
Learn from losing.
Yeah, and Richard there taking a loss. He actually did some AI panic strats where he mashed his cursor up and down.
And Tayman's going to get the quick kill on Gary here, so he's going to be going into the final fight with a 3-stage lead. But the thing here is, if he does screw up the beginning here and gets stuck in a long loop, he's going to have to deal with it unless he wants to reset Gary too as well. And Mewtwo's not going to get started with a good chain here, so he might be locked into a little bit of a long loop. Unless, I don't know, Mewtwo's trying to build something now. This could be really good for Tayman.
Yeah, Mewtwo's really digging a hole right here. He's going to end it right there. But this could be over. Oh!
That was unfortunate because that combo block fell to the very bottom, and I think that's the only time the AI is going to ignore it, is when there are physically no blocks underneath them.
Wow, that is as unlucky as it gets right there.
And he's going to get the second tier right now, too, and extend it a little bit more. He might get the kill, though. And he does at 45 seconds.
Wow.
So
Some very unfortunate luck, and he still manages to pull it off in a minute. That's pretty impressive.
it was basically just the middle game that was getting him, but he had a very strong end game and a really, really good beginning game as well. And so he's going to clutch that out after a pretty close race until a little bit of the end. So congrats to Tayman. He's going to take the first of this best of 3 here.
Yep. It looks like Panban is going to end his run right there.
I don't blame him. With a run like that, you just kind of want to throw it away and forget about it and be like, all right, that's just one race. Maybe I'll get better luck and play a little bit better next race and take it.
Uh-huh. And we have Richard with Whelp.
So based on that, I think it may be a little bit Tayman's favored, obviously, I guess, since he won the first race. But like I mentioned before, I think I give him the benefit of knowing a little bit more of the strats for this. I think Panban's just someone who kind of adjusts on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them very good players. I'd like to see them in an actual versus match. But I guess it depends if Panban can be pretty more consistent or pick up what he was like maybe missing out a little bit on some of the later stages, like throwing in a couple more 4 combos or things like that.
Definitely.
He might be able to take these next 2 games.
I think RNG played a pretty decent factor in that last one, especially around Tracy and Team Rocket for sure. We'll see if they can start using some of those other strategies, especially trying to... I'm looking to see some more 4 combos for sure.
Tayman definitely was doing a good job of them at the end, and I think that was Richard's biggest thing. And like I said, he kind of just joins for fun, so maybe he doesn't know it's one of the more optimal things to do on Very Hard. Who knows? Now we're just waiting for Richard to get into this next channel, which I think he will soon. I'm sure both are ready to start the next race.
All right. Good luck to our 2 runners. Let's hope for a 3rd match. All right, and we're off. I got Tayman just a little bit ahead. I'm gonna sync up their timers here. Alright, I'm pretty synced now. I'm at looks like 25 seconds on Richard's side.
Yeah, I'm at 38, 39, 40. What's your time at? Do I need to delay him a little bit for you?
Nope, you're good.
Perfect.
Alright. So right off the bat, Tayman takes an early lead with a pretty quick kill on Gary. And Richard following just behind him. Yeah, a lot of these earlier stages, you really just gotta make sure they're topped off. They're not gonna do a whole lot of setups with their garbage chains, or they might, but they're not gonna be as fast to set them up. So this is where you just want to make sure you top them off.
All right, sorry about that. Taking care of some stuff for the match afterwards.
No problem.
But yeah, as Dev just said there, it is just consistency with your garbage, because cursor movement is pretty slow. And yeah, they might make a lucky clear on you every once in a while, but they will die eventually if you've just sent enough garbage to their side. There are very few exceptions where sometimes you just get the worst RNG ever created. I've seen like easy and normal opponents get like 4 and 5 chains before, and then it just makes you think like, how the heck are they doing this?
Definitely. And as you're saying that, Tayman understandably thought that match was over, and unfortunately, Misty not giving up so easily with all the way down at the bottom, still managing to get a clear.
I guess a little bit of what I did describe earlier too, like never give up on your AI even if you think they're dead. I still do it too, and I just gotta tell myself sometimes not to. But yeah, always send backup garbage, always send stuff, unless you plan on resetting for sure or something like that, which in that case, I do not recommend resetting this early in a V-hard run, really, ever. Sometimes it may be necessary, but for the most part, just top off your opponent.
Yeah, especially if you're doing runs. Resetting here, you might as well, if you're gonna reset, you might as well reset the whole run. It's a lot easier to get 3 really good runs consecutively than try and get, you know, good runs consistently at the start just by resetting the stage. In a race though, you need to be a little safer. You need to maybe try and send just a little bit more. Sacrifice a little bit of your frames to get a guaranteed kill. It really could be the difference. And I'm actually looking, they are about, looks like 6 seconds apart. And Richard's gonna take the lead here.
Very nice sub 25 for Lieutenant Surge there, and I'd say Tayman's a little bit on the unlucky side on this Surge fight, but he might get lucky here because he's gonna have to drop a couple more blocks. But the chains he did extended that stop time by a little bit, but it won't matter too much there as he will close it out at 47 seconds.
It's always kind of hard to watch when, even though the chain might not have done anything particularly bad to you, but when you see a chain happen on their side, just a random chain, you're like, well, there's like an extra couple seconds of stop time that I just gotta wait through, or could potentially give them enough time to make another clear. And it's the worst when it's the AI getting incredibly lucky ones, or ones that are completely on accident even. And they're actually pretty close to each other now. That was less than 5 seconds apart.
Very reminiscent of last game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we did get the double 4 combo on Richard's side this time, and it looks like he's going to have to drop that stack to the left a little bit, so he maybe get the kill if he can get lucky enough here.
He doesn't have one set up.
Oh, wow. Actually, Koga managed to get a chain off of that. I'm pretty sure that was like a frame-perfect chain on Koga's part with that switch.
Yeah, and that chain unfortunately gave him just enough time to slowly walk his other panel over. Or to get a clear.
Yeah, that's definitely the unlucky part of this game, I will say. And Tayman's going to finish out with the 36, so he's going to get this lead back for him.
Koga, wow, with that green chain right there, just set up waiting.
We are not beat yet.
And another, oh wow. Wow, I was actually watching his garbage. He had a red chain set up, and he moved it. And because he moved it, he ran out of stop time and died. One of those rare situations in which the AI does a really dumb move and ends up killing themselves.
I'm scared, man, about going to this mid game. I just have like Tracy in the back of my mind right now, and I'm like, oh god.
You never know, man. We could see some crazy fast Richie, some crazy fast Tracy, crazy fast Team Rocket. Just gotta have a little faith.
We have Richard piling on the big chain there. I kind of missed what that ended at, but I heard that Pikachu noise going on and on. He's got a big old yellow block on Sabrina's side. And like I said, sometimes just topping off your opponent will do it, but kind of unlucky there at the end. I thought he maybe could have gotten the kill, but good news for him is there's a lot of colors that are lined up here, so maybe Sabrina's going to accidentally just clear a lot more blocks than she wants to. And maybe not. It looks like he might be locked into a quite deadly pattern here. This is where I would maybe contemplate resetting a run.
Yeah.
It takes quite a long time to clear a garbage block of that size.
No, it doesn't look like he's got a clear lined up. He might go for that purple. Oh, never mind. I didn't even see the green. And Tayman with a reset on Sabrina there. So that kind of brings the advantage to Tayman a little bit because he's going to have more opportunity to get a quick kill here. So we'll see how that turns out.
So Tayman going to drop that off at his 6 chain on purpose. He does a really good job of that. But like I said, he needs to focus up a little bit more unless you get the quick kill like he just did on his screen.
Yep.
So props to him. The reset did pay off, and he's going to be taking the lead back.
And that was one of those situations. If I could see my opponent green and if I was in that situation, I would have reset knowing that information. So I'd say he made a really good move there.
All right, we're almost past that midway game right now. Once they beat Blaine here, and we're... Oh, please, Tracy. That's all I'm asking. Let these guys get past you with 2 quick kills so we can see a really close and fast race at the end. But first, we got to get past this bald guy right here.
All right, there's the 6. I didn't see if he got any four combos there. He got 1, but it looks like he's a little short on garbage.
This is where the double 4 combo would have paid off on Richard's screen. Blaine did do a really big chain there. And, oh, whoa, if you saw Blaine there, he tried to connect the right 2 blues to the left side, and then you could see where the AI, like, messed up, and he's like, oh, crap, wrong way, and tried to save himself. That was actually really funny.
It's got to be, like, the AI's got to be somewhat aware of that stop timer when they feel themselves getting close to death, and they switch what they're doing and try and go for a quick clear or something. But yeah, seeing that happen was a little unfortunate for Blaine, but really fortunate for Richard.
Yeah, I really like seeing those because you'll see what the CPU does sometimes too, where they, like every once in a while in their movement, they'll do like a double input and do like 2 moves at once, kind of basically. And you saw that at the end of that too,
Yeah.
and it's like as soon as he wanted to switch to the other direction. It was
And see, I told you.
It was almost
we
a
were gonna have
panic in
really
this situation.
fast Tracy.
Hey, yeah,
That
that's
was
right. Richard almost got the fast Tracy too, but unfortunately, it looks like he's going to be starting to troll him a little bit. That's good for Tayman though, but if I'm pretty sure Rocket gave him even more of a trouble last time, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it always seems when Tracy gives you a lot of trouble, Rocket's going to give you a lot of trouble, mainly from fatigue or just from frustration.
Rocket managed to clear both of the 4 combos here. We got this last chance here, but it looks like, yeah, with that 5 combo, he's going to be in for probably another ride here on Rocket, unfortunately. Saw like a quick cursor movement on freaking Tracy's screen on Richard's too. He like, to finish that last chain, he just like kicked it into overdrive to get that block over there.
Congratulations, you won.
So Tracy there ended up, like, I guess for some reason, starting the AI panic movement and then seeing that clear just a little too late and dying. I wish I understood the AI of this game just a little better, because it'd be so worth manipulating it.
Yeah, I wonder what more people could actually find getting more consistent times. Besides just like manipulating maybe a glitch that affected the opponent, which there is one thing we have found in this game which will like guarantee a kill, and that's it's part of like the series of infinite scrolling glitches, where in one instance, instead of the blocks going up forever and you have to reset the stage, sometimes it just makes the computer stop playing, and it happens every once in a while. And I mean, you'll get a kill eventually off of that. So that's the one thing I could think of if someone found a consistent way of doing that. But I'm not even sure if it's something you can control. It's maybe only the CPU does it to himself.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I've seen some weird stuff, especially the one you're talking about, where the AI just decides to raises all stuff all the way to the ceiling and not stop. That would be a really cool thing to have control over.
I've actually never had that one happen to me before either. I've only had the infinite scroll glitch, and I really don't even have that happen to me all too often. I hear, like, usually every other week it happening to someone in speedruns, and I couldn't tell you the last time. You know what was probably the last glitch that happened to me was that freaking solitaire glitch forever ago. That's probably the last PPL glitch. And that was a man-made one.
But I was going to say, you have to throw your controller.
That requires some hardware tampering there. Oh, man. Giovanni cleared a lot of blocks on his screen on Tayman's side, but managed to hang on. Well, quite the opposite on Richard's side. Giovanni kind of panicked, and Richard's going to be back in the lead heading into these last 5 stages.
Just like that. It can really change that quick.
Oh, good stuff for Tayman there. Gio had to get all those blocks off the top, and he's going to close it back up here, only being down by a little over 20 seconds, I'd imagine.
Yep, just about.
Oh, can Richard finish off this chain? He needs to drop it soon. He might get it, and he will. Wow, that was really good timing there to get that kill. And that works in your favor sometimes if you do drop that little bit of garbage and the opponent's not topped off, they won't immediately go for clearing the garbage. Sometimes they'll just keep going for chains, and that was the case there to where Richie got rid of even more of his blocks to not clear anything, and then Richard just topped him off afterward and got that kill. That was very good.
I have noticed that. That's happened to me quite a few times where I've noticed, like, you drop a block on your opponent, and since they're not really in, like, panic mode per se, they're kind of just like, all right, I'm just gonna ignore that and keep chaining. But if you drop off your garbage and they have, like, one line from the top, they're gonna prioritize that garbage now. So, like, there is, like, an amount that the AI will start caring about garbage. I'm not sure what it is, but I have noticed that behavior.
Which I think that could be a strat, and it's a good backup strat to use currently. Something that maybe could be utilized more, but it's really inconsistent and probably hard to control.
Yeah.
And it's basically,
Absolutely.
like I said, just a backup.
Yeah, it probably would require a lot of screen looking. You need to know how to count how many lines you currently have sent and have to know exactly where you want to end up, all while trying to chain on your side. So the amount of attention you'd have to pay on everything would be really crazy.
All right, we got both players making the adjustments this round as they're way ahead of what they were last race. Both of them on Lorelei currently, and let's see, Tayman's got a pretty good setup at the bottom here, and let's see if he can maybe get the kill as Lorelei's lowering here. He won't. He didn't top off Lorelei, and there was a clear lined up at the bottom.
And Richard is gonna be the first one going into Bruno.
Lorelei literally just killed herself there, just raised up the stack once. And I was like, oh, I don't have any immediate clears lined up here. I'll just panic for a second. I love the AI. It's cool to actually watch them in full games when you're not playing, too. Because you really... Who actually, like, looks at a VOD unless you're very analytical of, like, certain CPU habits? Like, just in an entire run. It's hard to do. But this is where you get that chance to not only look and see how our competitors are doing, but see how their AI is doing, because that's something to note as well. It looks like Tayman's going to get the quick kill on Lorelei here. Good job with that 24.
Yep. Lorelei did a little panic there, not realizing that there was a gap in between that block and the one she wanted to clear to, so... She had to make a last-minute adjustment, but she didn't have enough time to do it. Now, Richard with a pretty high stack on his side. It kind of made me nervous a little bit. When you play this game enough, you kind of get a feel for exactly what your stop timer is at, and you'll know the exact moment you're gonna die. And as you approach that moment, when you have your stack topped off, you kind of feel yourself like, oh no.
Richard, as you were doing that, he almost had the kill there. And Bruno just managed to survive a little bit. He's probably going to get a second chance here as long as Bruno's going to be topped off. But Bruno found that clear pretty quickly, and he's going to have a lot of blocks to work with on the screen now. Tayman maybe could have possibly had a kill there too. I'm not too sure about that one. But with Bruno not being topped off, he's going to need to send a lot more.
Right. Oh, Bruno. Bruno's being the, he's being the guy this time. It's always got to be somebody.
Oh, do we have a little bit of frame drop on Tayman's screen, I think? Is that on
looking
yours
like
too?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can get that back for you guys since this is pretty close. I'm sure it probably just some frame drops or a disconnect or something.
Are you in the IRC channel? Can you see if he's still connected to it?
It's a good question. He is still connected to that.
All right, so
Oh, it did
and looks like
close
his
on me.
stream went down.
Yeah.
Yeah, his stream went down. I'm gonna see if I can get it back open.
He might have lost connection, so we're gonna have double Richard's screen on here right now. Hey, you guys get to analyze the same gameplay twice. it's back cool. We'll have to bring that up. All right, give us 1 second. We'll bring that up, guys.
Control your inner nature.
All right, looks like his stream is back up, but his gameplay is actually not showing.
Yeah, I guess he's having troubles with his capture card right now, which is unfortunate, but
Yeah.
I guess we'll just have to play it by IRC chat whenever we do get some results or something like that.
It is looking like he just finished.
That he did. He finished his last split right now. I don't know if he done in the IRC channel or not. Maybe he did get disconnected from IRC channel as well, but
Yeah, now the race is between.
Yeah, him connecting and Richard finishing.
That would be really unfortunate.
Sorry to tell you, Tayman, but if you don't get this done in enough time, you're gonna lose this game. Nah, we'll excuse that.
Yeah. However, it is kind of gonna be a little shitty for Richard if Richard manages to get this kill, because we're gonna have to tell him, like, actually, you didn't win.
I'm going to win. I'm going to win.
I'm gonna win.
I'm going to win.
I'm gonna win.
Oh, I hope Richard. Oh man, I hope he doesn't think he like finished the quickest, because he is technically the first one that done in the IRC channel.
Yeah, unfortunately, with Tayman, having internet troubles.
I can fill you guys in on, I believe it was the last two matches we finished. His Gary was a 1:20 split, and his Mewtwo was a 50-second split. So he had a really good Mewtwo and a pretty above average Gary as well. So that's how he did close out those last two fairly quick.
Congratulations, you've won.
I'm going to fill in Richard on what's happening just so he knows everything. All right, while we're figuring out how to handle this exactly, we'll update you guys here because, yeah, I'm not too sure of what we want to do here. I guess it's really up to Richard if he wants to, you know, just, like, I guess concede it to him. Because I would believe him in this situation, but Oh no.
Yeah, it's a little tricky.
All right, so I can confirm Richard will accept that. He does believe, and Tayman's got the screenshot as well. So, good to both of them. And the good thing is that this is only winners bracket, so Richard will have a chance to redeem himself. So, I guess we will give the official congrats to Tayman, as he will be moving on in the bracket with that second win. So, congrats to him.
Definitely. GG, Tayman. Congratulations, and I look forward to seeing your match against Cards of the Heart. With that, we should probably talk about the brackets.
Yeah, sure. Give me 1 second, because I need to write something down as well.
Mhm.
Just for reference. There we go. All right, yeah, we will bring up this bracket right now. Okay, so let's put in the score really quick there at the top. Yeah, good stuff to Tayman again. So, unfortunately for him, he did battle a close one, but he's going to have to go up arguably the best in the game with Cards of the Heart here for winners quarterfinals. So, that should be interesting to see how he adjusts to that match. He is a quick learner, though, so we definitely haven't seen all the tricks from his end right now.
Definitely. And if anybody is familiar with the phrase "stop winning," you'll know that it is possible for Cards to get some pretty bad luck.
And on the other side of things, with Richard going to losers, I guess all is not forgotten here, as he, since being in that game and one person having a bye, he will automatically advance into top 12 of losers and skip going in that first round. But he is going to face the loser of 14, which is going to be I Like Being Smart versus either the winner of FFR Pro and Freya. So that could be a tough game for him, but I mean,
It really could be.
knowing him, he could probably pull it off and get the victory there, so who knows. And we still got plenty
Definitely.
more matches to go upcoming for this round, including up next. You guys should stick around. We're going to have this match right here of Yume versus the Infinite Chain, and a couple more matches to be decided probably throughout the next couple of days as well. So stick around for those, and should be some really fun races.